Hello, my name is Pidge, and I am an illustrator under the brand Calico Corvid. I love all things nature, birds, bugs, fish, etc. My current works heavily focus on conservation and sustainability. This will be the longest sketchbook tour by far, as there are 8 different books I want to cover. Each of these ranges from ages 10 to 14, which would be 2009 to 2013. I tried to put the books in chronological order, but I often jumped from one to the next as I worked. Hope you enjoy! Today, I wanted to go through all of my sketchbooks from ages 10 to 13, 14. Since this is my first video on this account, I did also want to show some of my more recent work. All of the images that I'm about to show are in order when I made them to present. So this one was a piece I did in college. Honestly, I don't remember the class, but I do remember I hated this professor. And we had to make this absolutely very intricate dot grid that you may be able to see. And if we made any mistakes, we lost points. And I got a C on this because that professor hated my guts. I love this. I've actually dreamed since making this to get a forearm tattoo sleeve of the skull with the honey flowing out. Next, we have this spread from a sketchbook around the same time as this piece. It's got some angels that I drew. I was so proud of this that I redid it about 4 times. I ended up painting it into a jacket for a final in my Painting 1 class, and it turned out really good. And I've loved this spread since I made it. I also have this painting of the lead singer of Half Alive that I did. This was painted during the middle of the COVID pandemic during my spring semester for that Painting 1 class. Here's another more recent piece. This one was done about a year after the last one I showed. And it's a tiger axolotl hybrid thing. Did this for a class. I believe this was actually for digital painting, but I just liked the mock-up I did so much that I drew it out. In my most recent completed sketchbook, I have this spread where I worked a lot with color, with birds, and you'll see a theme in my later sketchbooks. I really like birds. They just fill me with so much joy, and I will get into more of this stuff a little bit later. I've tried to lay these sketchbooks out in order of their age, but I'm probably going to be a little bit off just because it has been so long and I didn't date any of these. This was the very first one. I actually got this sketchbook on a trip with my mom in St. Louis at a 99-cent store. And again, these are ages 10 to 13. So they're going to be pretty crude. And I was really into My Little Pony at this age. My Little Pony, furries, creepypasta was a huge one. We'll get to that in a minute. As you can see, things did not start out particularly well. Very first page is just a very crude drawing of a pony. I had another crude drawing of a Steven Universe gemsona, as well as an icon I was designing at the time. Here's a Scootaloo drawing, and as you can see, I was so scared to fill pages. I would draw one thing and then I'd move on to the next, and often I would actually just flip to a random page. So a lot of these drawings aren't actually in order chronologically. This one's on the back side, another one of that gemsona, just a face that I never finished, some hand studies, another gemsona that I didn't finish. Yeah. I drew this pose a lot and I referenced it. So at the time, I was a very active member of the My Little Pony group on iFunny, of all places. Here's another of that gemsona. A green marker drawing of pony legs. This is one of my very first pony OCs. Obviously not completely finished. At the time, I was very happy with this though. I don't know what's going on there. There it is again. Still don't know what's going on. I think this is during the phase where I was transitioning from ponies into furries. Oh, another important thing, I was a nasty little homestuck. So there's a lot of Homestuck fan art in these first ones. This is a drawing I came back and did, I believe in high school. And a lot of these sketchbooks have holes in them because if I liked a drawing enough, I would cut it out and put it up on my wall. So most of the best drawings in these books are gone, lost to the sands of time. This was a self-portrait, one of my very first ones. Another self-portrait. Again, I think that one and this one were on the same train of thought. Another pony. Cute little chibi girl. Some banana. A little bunny. I had a calligraphy pen at the time, and I was playing around with that. So this was directly referenced from a very popular artist at the time, and I won't mention their old name, but it actually is current YouTuber Kelsey Animated. I looked up to her so much at that age, and Kelsey, if you ever see this, sorry, I constantly referenced you, but another little chibi. This was for, I was very into Pokemon, Pixelmon on Minecraft at the time, and this was for a friend, and that's on the server I played with a lot. This was another chibi drawing. This is when I started making my own OCs, really. And again, single character in the direct center of the page, too scared to draw around it. And this is Ruby Rose fan art. Honestly, not too bad considering. This was years before The Light Fury was released, and I had this very intense dream about it. So I drew this, and I'm still shocked to this day that they ended up going with that concept because I thought of it the moment I saw the second movie. Here's some more fan art, and I was trying to use one of those how to draw websites. Didn't finish it. I did finish this one, which is another how to draw series. More Homestuck fan art. There's Theffery, which I have drawn so many times actually. Dave Sprite fan art. And given the age I drew this and how complex this was, I actually am very proud of these wings. Some more OCs I started drawing. Oh, and then this is my very first real pony OC that I designed myself. Drew a friend's Sona at the time. And you'll notice that I draw the same face over and over again. Again. Actually was very proud of this one. And this is during my deepest deep dive into the My Little Pony fandom on iFunny. And during this time period, I was very sick. I had been home for a month straight. That's another pony Sona. This is when I started trying to draw bodies again. And then I gave up. Oh, here's a date, 2015. So I would have been 14, I think. Nah, this couldn't have been 2015. This had to have been 2012, I think. But I liked this one quite a bit. And then I liked it so much I traced it and drew it again. And same pony as before. I was so proud of this one when I finished it, and honestly, I don't do much background work now, so honestly, this turned out really great. And you'll see that pose get used over and over again going forward. More ponies. Was very, very proud of this one. Going back even this far, I love birds, so of course my Little Pony character had a bird cutie mark. That's another self-portrait. This one was a direct rip-off of a Kelsey Animated drawing, and I did a lot of this. I was so inspired by her at that age. But this was my friend, my only friend at the time, and I drew them a lot. That's us together. I was actually very proud of this one. And this is my creepypasta OC, Blinded Jewel, and this is my Homestuck OC, apparently Asbel Hierty, and a toad frog. This was for art class in 7th grade. a piano with a treble clef behind it, Umbreon fan art, which I still hate to this day. Oh goodness, oh, I forgot about these. Okay, so this is my character, like I said, her name's Blinded Jewel. This is one of those creepypasta men. I don't know why I had an infatuation with that stuff, and I have to relive my cringe. This was drawn by a niece. That was one of my first attempts at a furry. I drew this at 12. I wrote it in here. It took me about 30 minutes to draw, and this I drew at 16. So you can see just in the few years between these, I improved quite a bit. More lovely creepypasta fan art. I think this was a Tumblr drawing that I just referenced completely, trying to learn how to imitate that style. I think this is when I was designing my very first persona, so I wrote down everything I wanted in the design. Another pony drawing. Another pony drawing. More. There's not much to say about a lot of this. I was really just learning, and I was exploring how to draw stuff for the first time. Here's another version of that wing I did earlier. Another self-portrait and some little ponies, and this is when I first started really trying to draw pony bodies. A little Pikachu. I think my sister drew this one, because it looks way too nice for the time I drew this. This was a friend and I's, Sona's, together. I had such a tendency to draw creepypastas, but I had to write on this one, no creepypastas, because I was a little ridiculous and I drew them so much. But here's an eyeball. I don't really know what's going on here, and this face. This was cosplay notes I was taking. A little chicken. Realistic cat drawing, except I couldn't get the eye right, so I gave up on this one. A little angel. Pony. Pony. Another jade. Anime face. And then these pages all had little Homestuck animal doodles I did. Most of those are gone permanently, and all that's left is this little bull guy and her and Kanaya. This was some cosplay drawings. Obviously, it wasn't very creative in these designs, but I tried. My attempt at a centaur. More of a human. Like a realistic human body. Proportioned body rather than a chibi. Another one of those Steven Universe characters. Another pony. Like I said, I was super into My Little Pony at the time. The next book is where I tried to draw realistically. The very first page of this used to be a tiger, I believe, that I did. Honestly, it was the best drawing I had done at that age, and it was the very front page, and I had taken it out and I had put it in a portfolio, and I haven't seen it since. So if I find it, I will make a post about it, because I was very proud of that. But here's a wolf. I just looked at a photo and I tried to follow the way that the hair moved, and that's how I got this guy. And then this was my cat Tigger. And this is honestly a pretty good drawing of him considering the age I did it at. A German Shepherd. And a lot of these older books have been through hell and back, so they don't really flip anymore. But German Shepherd. Another one of my cat Tigger. A horse that I was so proud of. I did this one in my middle school art class. A goat. Cat doodle. Eyes. Horns for the trolls, cat doodle, noses and a face and lips. I was really at this point just trying to learn different styles and like understand things. This is a realistic eye I drew in my math class at the time. Everything in the back here is a little bit older, still in that 10 to 13 age range, but just a bit older. This was weapon design.
for my Steven Universe OC, who ended up here. And I know it's not like the best, but I was pretty proud of it at the time. And these are going to be a little bit older. This is when I really started taking art seriously, and when I started experimenting. And this sketchbook in particular is one of the ones that I just flipped through at random and just did pages. So some of the pages are much older, like this one here is older than this first page. But this is my cat Tigger, but I drew him as a furry radish cat. Some furries. And one of my friends on iFunny, they had an OC named Sweek, and that's them. A lot of these other ones I don't remember. This is Keko. You'll see Keko a lot, I think, going forward. Some cat bodies, learning how to proportion the bodies well. And some more cats. This is when I first really got into furries and started drawing them consistently. I really liked this drawing when I did it, and honestly, it's still really cute. This hair that turned out lovely. It was the first time I had figured out how to shade hair. Another Pfeffery. Tavros. Pfeffery. Jade. This is one of my later pony OCs. Her name was Azabel. And she was more representative of my older self. I was very proud of this one, and in another video I'll show you the redraw that happened in response to this. And I look back on this one pretty fondly. This was myself in a kigurumi of my first OC that I made, my first fursona. And here's it again. Some hair I loved. Some furries. These ended up actually getting drawn digitally. They were some of the first digital drawings I ever did. Some more furries. I hate the anatomy on this. I hate the face. I hate the hair. I really don't like that one. There's Ohana. That was my first character. My first fursona. Some birds. First time I was really drawing birds. Sans Undertale. Stanford Pines and Marceline. And this was me trying to figure out how to draw bodies at different ages. Obviously did not finish it. There's Keko again. This was Luna. So my hands from whenever this was, I guess 14, have not changed. I'm 23 now. We're going back to ponies. Old furry face. This was actually my very first fursona, but I drew them like 3 times and then never thought about them again. This is another pony. Furry. Pony. There's another Ohana. There's another Ohana. I drew her a lot around this time frame just because I loved her character design, and it was the first time I really felt like I could express myself in my art, other than my ponies obviously, but I did some things that I didn't do before. And this is when I got a white gel pen for the first time, and I was exploring with that. If you're a furry, you know who this is. More of, so I had this whole concept of turning urban legends. I was very into supernatural at the time, so I wanted to turn urban legends into characters. So this was a leprechaun, and my character design skills at this age were not the greatest, but you know, it's okay. I still tried, and without all the progress that I made in these books, I would not be where I am today. Little Pidge, you rock. More ponies. Mocha Bliss. I think this is maybe one of my OCs. I'm not 100% sure. This was the first male character I had ever made, which was when I first started exploring my gender identity. Maybe realizing I wasn't a girl. There's him again, some explorations of what they could look like. Again, was very into supernatural. These were my angel OCs, I believe. And there's Azabel again. This was a birthday drawing for one of my friends. Miss them a lot. We haven't talked since this time frame. This is the last book before I start getting into high school art. And this was my very first meet the artist here. Just me sitting cross-legged and drawing my friend. Some fan art. This was drawing one of my friends. Again, this was in that realm of drawing the urban legends. So they were a dragon, leprechaun, banshee, werewolf, and these are all friends I had. This was me. I was never actually into Sherlock, so I think it's iconic that I put that shirt on myself. And I loved this, and I still love it, so I'm gonna give it a good close-up on this guy. I loved the background border I did and the highlight on the leaf. Oh, I loved this one. Some more furries. There's Ohana again. Some wing. Another pony, some eyes. I loved this guy. I've actually wanted to take this out and frame it because this is one of my favorite drawings from this age. And I loved this one so much because I got like the angle of the eyes right and it just felt really good to me. This is when I started going insane with the white gel pen. Not bad necessarily. This was my very last pony OC that I fell in love with. There's a drawing of Keko, which ended up being my second fursona. I was referencing one of my mutuals to learn how they did their style because I fell in love with it at the time. There's Sweek and Keko. I talked about them earlier. More furries. More pony. I loved the body on this and the way I drew the arms. I'm sure I referenced for these. And this also is another one of my favorite drawings from this time period just because I lined it so well and felt way more dynamic than a lot of the other pieces I did. There's an Ohana and some math homework. And that's it.
I just wanted to say thank you if you made it all the way to the end. If you liked this video, please leave a thumbs up and give me a follow to see what's in store. I'll see you next time!